Hi guys, this is Karis, and this is my Padlet discussion for Module 2 on family forums. I'm going to be looking down and reading my notes, so bear with me. But starting off with the first question says, which family were you raised in? I was born in a nuclear family, and basically that is a family that is consisting of a husband and a wife along with their children. So I have a mom and my dad. They're still married, and I'm the oldest daughter, and then I have two younger sisters as well. A strength that I learned about from a nuclear family is the strong stability within traditions. One thing that I think about right away is nuclear families are they're tended to see as like what you would call the traditional family because it's a husband and a wife, but obviously families come in all shapes and sizes, and with that, normal traditions, I guess you would say, tend to play out. Like one of my family traditions is I grew up in a Christian home, so we go to church every Sunday together as a family. It was like you didn't have a choice, you had to go every Sunday. A weakness for nuclear families could be a lack of outside guidance from elders and other sources, and it can cause you to feel kind of isolated. So, for example, my parents were so big on the rules of the house, the rules that they stated. It was an authoritative household, but at the same time, sometimes it was hard because I felt like when I got outside guidance, I was almost contradicting their rules, and sometimes it would end up in lectures instead of small conversations. For the second question, it says, two things that stood out to me in the text about one of the family groups. So I chose African American families specifically because I'm African American. It's my heritage. And it says, I wrote this down straight from the textbook, but it says, African American families alongside Hispanic families are in the lowest social class below the poverty level of income. Meaning, especially because we are of minority groups, poverty, like we're usually just in the lower level, mainly because of privilege, income, and also because we're usually put into lower class systems. And unfortunately, it's because of the color of our skin, because especially back then, people used to see us as just less than other people. And then another thing I wrote says African American families are also like in interracial, and gay lesbian families, subject to a certain type of prejudice. Also meaning that we tend to experience the most racism, racial injustice, and issues alongside interracial families because you put two races together and people tend to make comments, especially on children in the families. The children tend to get bullied and degraded, and it's really, really sad when we should just all be loving each other. And then there's just so much homophobia going on in the world. There always has been, although things have seemed to become better with equality over time in LGBTQ areas, there's still a lot of inequality, and everyone should just learn to love and accept each other as they are, in my opinion. But for the last thing, I watched the video about the black men speaking on their mothers, and something that I noticed right away was how highly they were all speaking about their mothers, no matter of their circumstances. And even the ones that didn't have a present mother growing up and maybe lived with their grandparents, they either didn't have much to say or they spoke very highly. Like some of them had single moms, some of their moms had to work a lot, some of their moms were just always there for them, and they just spoke so highly of them. But yeah, that's the end of my video. Those are the things that I found interesting and that related to the text, so I hope that all makes sense.